Hello, guys. So, welcome to Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. I'm so excited to be here today. So, today's guest, we have Mr. Drew Howard, and I'm so excited and honored to have him here. So, we are going to talk about how to create a clothing line. He is the founder of Always True Company, which is a clothing line dedicated to his late brother. So, I'm super excited to share him with you guys today. Follow me on YouTube and follow me on Facebook, Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. And then I'm also on Instagram, Elegant Jacqueline. So,
What's up?
Hey.
How are you?
Good. So welcome. So I'm excited to have you here today. And I'm so inspired by your story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Of course. So tell me about your company, Always True.
Okay, so briefly you explained it a little bit, but we started about 5 years ago, and it's based off of my older brother who passed away 8 years ago. He was a rapper, musician, artist, and his stage name was Always True. So the whole company is basically taking the stage name that he used, Always True, and pushing it through clothes and art to kind of forward his legacy and also just push people to stay true to who they are, essentially.
Wow, I love that. And a wild story I have to tell you really quick is your brand is becoming really popular in the Gainesville community. I had a friend who I saw earlier today that was in an Uber, and he said that he got a sticker with your company on it. And I was like,
sweet.
how wild is that?
That's really cool.
Yeah, very cool. So how did you even get into it as far as like, what are some tips that you give someone who is wanting to do this kind of thing, to create a legacy?
Yeah, I would say a good tip that I guess I kind of did when I first started was I kind of just delved into a lot of different avenues, whether it was video production or shooting videos or photography or creating clothes, creating art, designing, whatever it is. I think everybody should, if they have some sort of interest in their head or their mind of if they want to do any of that stuff, I think that they should go ahead and just try it out. You don't have, a lot of the times, a lot of the stuff, it doesn't really cost too much money. Obviously, maybe you can borrow a camera from somebody, or maybe you can just start drawing on a notepad or whatever it is. Little steps into different areas and different avenues, I think would project you and push you to either try it, like it, or not like it. But I think the trying of things and the executing of things consistently will help you narrow down what exactly you want to do with your life, I guess.
I love it. No, that's a really good tip, because I think that, like you said, the consistency and just playing around and just putting it on paper and seeing what stands out to you and what resonates and what speaks to you.
Yeah, yes, for sure. Because like life is already hard in itself, and so there's already a lot of pressure from everything, and mainly from yourself. There's a lot of pressure that comes from yourself. So just try to do what you're comfortable with and what you think you can do, and just get involved, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Again, it could just be like a doodle on a piece of paper or on your pants, or it could be just taking a photo with your phone or whatever, be like, oh, I actually like doing that. And so it's just those little things. I feel like life is just a combination of the little things, and they just add up into like this big foundation, and you can build it up for whatever you want to do with it.
I love it so much. And I'm so sorry about your brother passing. And I have so much respect for you and your family for really pushing through and making something out of this. It's, a tragedy that's turning into something really beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So your clothing line, what do you have in it?
What'd you say?
What do you have in your clothing line? What items?
Oh, we have almost anything that we decide that we want to put our art on. But I would say mainly it's t-shirts, hoodies, long sleeves, sweaters, a lot of upperwear stuff, jackets, And then that would be, I guess, the new stuff. And we also do thrifted and upcycled stuff too. So that is a separate, I guess, I mean, it's still a part of Always True, but it's a separate side of the business to where it's more of like a repurposing type of thing. And it could just be any garment that we decide that we think is cool and want to take it in and just put our flair on it, basically.
Very cool. Very cool. So how long did it take you to kind of get everything running once you had this inspiration?
From the start of the company, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So we started it in July of 2015. And I just met up with my business partner now, and we were involved in we were selling like energy drinks and stuff like that before this. So it was like we were selling a lot of stuff, so salesmen, and we decided that we didn't want to do that anymore just because we weren't really passionate about it and it wasn't ours. So then we're like, oh, why don't we just make something of our own? And we just decided to make, at first it was going to be a fitness brand, like we were going to make fitness clothes, because me and Kevin at the time, my business partner, were very into fitness and the lifestyle of fitness. But then it kind of just quickly switched. Within the same day, we decided we want to do fitness brand. It kind of switched to kind of like a streetwear brand so that everybody can wear it. It's like it's very open to anybody. And so we thought of that in July of 2015, and then we officially launched the company in December of 2015.
Wow.
Too.
Wow. So it happened really fast.
Yeah. It kind of happened. I mean, it kind of happened out of nowhere, and it happened pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so exciting.
Woohoo. It was. Thank you. It was very exciting.
I love it. I love it. So what was your first emotion and your first feeling and reaction to when you realized this was turning into something really big, and it's like, oh wow, holy cow, this is pretty cool?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of just gradual. It was like a gradual, and it's still gradual. You know, it's 5 years in, and we're still moving forward and still pushing.
Wow.
But I don't think there was a specific moment that kind of was like, oh shit, this is crazy. I think it's just like a collective moment of like, this is what we're gonna do, basically.
Nice. So how do you keep everything still fresh and current?
Honestly, I have no idea. I'm like the main person that designs most of the stuff, like all the creative stuff and all the aesthetic that you see on the Instagram or in the designs and stuff. I'm like the main person that designs all the stuff. So I don't know. I just get inspired by, could be everyday stuff, something I see on television, something I see in the movies, something I see while I'm driving on the road, something in Gainesville, something in different cities that I visit, pretty much anywhere. And then I'm like, we're going to make this. So there's no like, I don't know. There's inspiration from what other people are doing in the fashion industry. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what we actually believe in, what we think looks great, basically.
I love that you said that you have to be passionate about what you're doing. I'm such a huge believer also in thing, and it resonates when you're passionate about something, it shows, and people are gravitated towards it.
Yeah, it's passion. You can feel the passion off of people, and it's fueling and inspiring. So
yeah, I love that feeling, definitely. So have you sketched before? Have you always done designing before, or was it something that you just automatically yourself, or kind of just learned from watching others, or did you actually have schooling for it?
I never went to school for it. However, I did do a small school when I was younger. It was like an art school though. It was like one summer. I don't know. When I was little, I would just draw a bunch of stuff. It was mainly cartoons and stuff of that sort. And I think the main reason why I design a lot is because my mother, I distinctly, for some reason, remember this one instance where I was drawing something and I was like, is this good? She goes, yeah, this is amazing. You're really good at this.
Aww.
And so, and it's insane how one little little or whatever moment and those words when I was younger, I remembered it. So I was like, oh shit, mom says I'm good. So that means I'm good. So
Oh,
then, which is crazy. So then I was like, all right, I guess I'm good. And then I just kept on drawing, but then I kind of got away from it in middle school to high school. I didn't really do that. I was mainly doing sports and everything of that sort because art isn't cool, whatever, in middle school and in high school. And then it kind of just came full circle when we started this whole thing. I felt like it was right for me.
wow, that's so cool. Shout out, mom.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah,
Man,
that's very cool to know that something, yeah, that one little piece of affirmation and just confirming your talent just really stuck with you. And it's beautiful to hear that story.
yeah, it's the impact. You don't really think about it. You're like, oh, I'm just saying words,
Yeah.
and you're just like, it doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, these words and these things that you do say do matter. They might not matter to you at the time, but they matter to the people around you. So that's
Yeah.
another thing that I'm realizing also is the impact of your words and what you say and how you do things. It's like
Mm.
it transcends and it goes
Yeah.
for days, basically.
That's so true. That's so true. I find myself catching myself lately too, thinking more about things that I'm saying, how I'm impacting people, how I'm making a difference, and just listening more and being more cautious with my words for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's I mean and it's almost fun. It's almost like, oh shit, how could I not fuck this up? It's like,
Yeah.
how could I like how can I make this person feel good, and how can I not put myself, like, involve myself too much in the situation, or if I'm having a bad day, how can I not involve myself too much, the shittiness of what's going on in the conversation? How could I just X myself and be there for that person? That's the
Yeah.
main thing.
Yes, very true, very true. And your clothes evoke emotion too. So when people wear your clothes or get your clothes, they feel very full of energy, or they feel very confident, also very stylish and just very comfortable.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's to I mean, right now we're doing clothes, and I think that clothes are awesome. I love
Right.
clothes. But it could literally be anything, and that's what branding is, I guess, and that's where I want this brand to be,
Wow.
is almost like a staple, to where it's not necessarily defined by any particular object. It's more of in the air, and it's a vibe, and it's you're always true. This is always true, basically.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Do designing or sketching for other people that are wanting their logos or their designs created?
Yeah, yeah, we actually do a bunch. Another side of the business is we do a bunch of logo creation for other people. We also create content for other people. We also create clothes for other people. So if anybody's watching this and they're interested in creating
I
clothing, yeah, yeah, for you, creating clothing or logos or any type of design or anything, you could just hit us up and we can just set up an appointment and we can talk about it, because it's some of that. It's hard when you don't necessarily design too much, and it's kind of overwhelming. You don't know where to start. So we help people, like, kind of move along in that process.
Okay, I might actually hit you up on that because my dance studio, Elegant Body Pilates, we just changed to a lotus instead of a butterfly. So I'm wanting to get the girls
Nice.
shirts. Yes.
Dope. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, yeah. So what other future projects do you have coming up for you?
So I feel like we got three main projects right now. It could change to four or five or six, but three main projects right now. First project is called the Monthlies, and we're basically releasing a collection every month for the next year, and that's gonna start on October 29th, and that's basically, we're gonna have a 12-piece collection of one of a kind thrifted clothes, and we're gonna have a specific design for those specific 12 pieces. So we'll have this for this first one, we're going to have 12 pieces with one design. And then the next month after that, we'll have another 12 pieces of thrifted clothes with another design on it. So that's the monthlies.
Nice.
And then we also have the dailies, which is going to be starting on November 1st. And we're basically going to be releasing a garment every single day for the next year.
Ooh.
So, and that'll go in spurts of 30. So we'll be printing like the same design on 30 different pieces, and it'll kind of switch like the monthlies, but we'll just be like posting them up every single day.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yes, it seems like it seems like it is, and it is very overwhelming before we even started something like this. But once you figure out the little stuff, it all kind of just comes together, and you're able to deal with. If we were like two years ago, there's no way we'd be able to even feel like we could even do something like that because it was too overwhelming. But now we have like all the little systems in place based off of the small stuff that we did back 2 years ago, 5 years ago, that kind of just like built up to this point. And then the last thing that we have are shoes. I've been making these like, shoes, these Chuck Taylor. They look like Chuck Taylors, but I just am adding my flair to it, and they're called the Always True J's. So I don't know when we're gonna be releasing those. I feel like overestimation will be in the spring, but we'll see about that.
And you posted those on your Instagram, right?
I did, yes.
Yes, I saw those. So stylish. You guys should check it out. I love it. I was like, oh, these are him. Very cool. Is there anyone that you would want to collaborate with?
Yeah, anyone. I mean, that's obviously super broad and super vague. As of recently, we've decided not to necessarily collab with people because we still got to figure our shit out. We've been collabing with people for the past couple of years, and that's been great. And we're still open to it. It may not be at this moment, but again, it could switch tomorrow. I'm always like all over the place with like the shit that we talk about, but yeah, I would say pretty much anybody's that's willing to work and willing to create something cool. We're always down to collaborate.
Very cool. What's your favorite design that you've created?
Oh wow, that's pretty hard thing.
So many.
There's a bunch of designs. I would say I'm really impressed with the designs that I did for last year's collection. We released a collection called Chill Pill that was launched on April 2019, and there was a bunch of designs in there that I thought were very, very good. So we still have some on the website too, www.alwaystrue.co. So if people want to like check it out, they can go to the website and they can go on the main menu and they'll go to shop by collections, and then they can click Chill Pill and all those designs will pull up.
Nice. Do you ever have moments, because I know this was hugely inspired from your brother that had passed away. Do you ever have moments where I know you have like the really high of highs and you're like really happy and joyful that you've done something so incredible, where you just really miss him so much when you're creating stuff?
I would say he's not really like prevalent when I'm creating. He's only prevalent in spurts. So at the very beginning, when it was super raw and it first happened and he passed away, within those first couple of years, it kind of was like every second. But now that time has moved on, it's kind of just separated itself. So throughout my days and everything, I don't really think about him. Maybe his name was Brandon. Maybe I get a waiter, his name was Brandon or something like that. Then I'm like, oh, Brandon. Yeah. Or other stuff like that. But now at the beginning it was Brandon, Always True. Yeah. This is his, and it still is. However, I don't necessarily think about him 24/7. It's only in, I don't know, once every 3 months or 6 months where I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, this was a good guy. And it kind of just brings me into my feelings. And then from there, I do definitely appreciate him, and I do take that gratitude and I push it through what I'm doing also.
Yeah, I love that. I understand because I lost both my parents and they've been my inspiration.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. They've been my inspiration for everything that I'm doing. And so it comes in moments, the same thing too, and it does get better over time. So for anyone else that has gone through something like this, to know that they can get through it and it does get easier as time goes by.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah, yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to let the viewers know?
I think that whoever's viewing this is sweet as hell, and they are amazing in their own way. And all they have to do is start what they want to do. And they're probably already doing it. They just don't even realize that they're doing it.
That's true. That's a really good point. A lot of people aren't aware what is, happening before them, and they just need to just go for it and just do it and just stay true to themselves and stay true to the brand and just be themselves.
Yeah, just take a step back and be like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
And most of the time you're like, I have no idea what the hell is going on. So let's try to just be here. Let's try to just be here and work with what we have in front of us.
I love it. I love it. And aren't you doing a podcast too?
Oh yeah, that's also another thing. Yeah, we are doing a podcast also.
Yes.
But it's a little different. At first it started to be conversations, and it still will be. But I've just been like trying to figure out how to get it to work because we just bought all this equipment and I'm like figuring it out. But it'll be a mixture between conversations kind of like similar to this and then random shit. Could be like we're filming stuff in the basement of us preparing a collection or something like that. That'll be like a part of the podcast. There'll be like speaking involved audio and stuff like that.
Right. Well, exciting. I will have to check it out and stalk you.
Do it.
So that you want to be remembered.
What do I want to be remembered as or by?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't even know. I kind of I haven't really even thought about that. I just want to basically make people feel good and make people feel special. So I don't know, because I don't know what happens. I think it's the biggest enigma ever of what happens after you pass away. But I guess for my own self, I definitely want people to perceive me as somebody that was accepting of them.
Mm-hmm. And you already are so inspiring, and you are so warm and so inviting, and your line is so incredible, and you're so creative too.
Thank
you are already on the path. You were doing it.
Whatever path that is, I don't really know, but yes.
It seems like it was meant to be. Everything is just kind of organically just happening for you, and it seems like it was, meant to be, and we see a wonderful vision of you and your clothing line. Yeah, always true.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only happening for me, but it's happening for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just different. Everyone's got their different way of going about things, their different perceptions, their different concepts, their different things that they've been through in life, but everything's already happening. Everything's already here for you as an individual. You just gotta put your attention towards things that make you feel good and make you feel present, essentially.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure. And thank you so much for illuminating everyone with your presence and with all of your wonderful tips. It has been such an honor.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. So thank you for watching Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. Today's guest, Drew, CEO of Always True. And we are so excited. So follow us. We're on Spotify, and we are also on Google Podcasts and Pocket Casts, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube. Thank you. It was a lot. Take care.